Interviews involve direct interaction between the researcher and the respondents. They can be conducted in person, over the phone, or through video conferencing. Interviews can be structured with predefined questions, semi structured, allowing flexibility, or unstructured, more conversational. You may be wondering when you should choose interviews as your data collection method. Interviews basically are an excellent way to gather detailed information. They also have an advantage over surveys as they can be adapted as you learn more information. Recall that survey data collection methods do not allow researchers to change the questions that are administered, even if a participant's response sparks some follow up questions in your mind. All participants must be asked the same question in the same manner. The questions you decided to put on your survey during the design stage determine what data you get. In an interview, however, you can follow up on new and unexpected topics that emerge during the conversation. Trusting in emergence and learning from your participants are hallmarks of qualitative research. In this way, interviews are a useful method to employ when you want to know the story behind the responses you might receive in a written survey. Interviews are also useful when your topic is rather complex, requires lengthy explanation, or needs a dialogue between two people to thoroughly investigate. Additionally, interviews may be the best method to utilize if your study involves describing the process by which a phenomenon occurs, like how a person make a decision. For example, you could basically use interviews to gather data about how people reach the decisions not to have children and how others in their life have responded to that decision. To understand these processes, you would need to exchange dialogue with respondents. When they begin to share their story with you, new questions that hadn't occurred to you in prior interviews will arise because each person's story is unique. Further, close ended survey questions would not be as effective in capturing the complex process of choosing not to have children. In some, basically, interview research is especially useful when you wish to gather very detailed information, when you anticipate wanting to ask respondent follow-up questions based on their responses, when you plan to ask questions that require lengthy explanation, when you are studying a complex or potentially confusing topic to respondents. Lastly, so when you are studying processes such as how people make decisions, interview research play a very important role during that particular time. And lastly, when you are studying processes such as how people make decisions, in this interview research play a very vital role to gather the proper data and then plan the questions for a good explanation, which will help you further to design your research.